Oh yeah, so just this is kind of going to be, if not our last meeting, it's one of our last meetings because of course you have the final exam. So just saying that your marks, you got 70% of your marks in, and you would be able to see those on D2L, and you'll be able to calculate what you're going to sort of get on that. Now, um, if you've sent something to the wrong folder, you can just send it again to the right folder. There's no problem with that. So yeah, here I am. I'm recording, and then I made a big deal earlier on about compressing files and uploading the compressed files. Now that's important if you're doing CSS or HTML, because D2L has some protection in it to strip out CSS, because CSS is a programming language, and so you could hide a virus in there. And so it doesn't want a virus to infect its D2L server, and so it's not going to let you put CSS on there. So we can get CSS in there, but we have to compress it, and it's kind of put an envelope around it, protect it, and then we can get it up there. So that's why I was asking you to compress your folders, because they've got CSS on it. Now, when you do an assignment, which is a Word document, I would actually appreciate if you didn't compress it, because that just adds one or two steps actually, because I have to, I have to download it, and then I have to unzip it before I can view it. So it's something like assignment 4, it's a Word document. Just upload the Word document, please. Then I can mark it straight in the D2L. It saves me time. Saves me, like, I don't know, a couple minutes on each assessment, and I do appreciate that time. So yeah, just as a sort of a rule of thumb, the reason, and the other reason why we need to do compressed folders when we're doing websites, is because a website is not a single file. It's a bunch of files that are all sort of dependent on each other, and so they need to be in the same place relative to each other. That's why we have those relative cell addressings, with the dot and the slash, or the dot and the slash. So that's important, that the website have its integrity in not just all the files are there, but all the files are in the right place relative to each other. So we upload an entire folder, and the only way to do that really is in D2L is to compress it. And so that's why that was all about. So I thought maybe if you understand the reason, then you'll see that there's sometimes that you don't actually need to compress it. It's every lesson, right? So the exam, 7th of April. You need to come to the college before the time of the exam, because the way these exams work, it'll be open for 3 hours only. You're probably going to need that time. I haven't seen the exam yet, but I expect that it'll be the same as format as the tests. That is, that you're given some instructions and you do something on using the notepad. So you should expect to use notepad. Don't expect that you're going to come here and we have Visual Studio Code. I know I did encourage you to use that at the start of the course. Yes, use that at home, but you should practice a little bit on Notepad++, because you're probably going to be there on a computer with only Notepad++ as an editor. So be ready to do that. No, I will not let you do the test on your laptop computer. So no, you have to use the editor that you see in front of you. And the other thing is that I might not be the one who is invigilating your test. More likely than not, I will not be the one invigilating your test, because I've got 2 sections and they're going to be spread over 3 classes. And so there will probably be another teacher there. So I'm just telling you how it's going to go now. Those instructions will go out to those teachers as well. Amna is here. So we're going to mark her present. So yeah, that's what you should expect. I as I said, I haven't seen the exam. I'm very thankful to Amal Al Muhammad. She's the person that's taking the lead on this course. I say I'm thankful to her because she's taken that responsibility, and she hasn't sort of asked me to do it. I got lots of work. I don't feel like writing another exam. So but she's doing that, and we're just letting her do that. And when that's done, I'll let you know what I know about it. Yeah. Okay. So I think I basically sort of covered everything that I wanted to make sure that you guys are aware of. Yeah, be there on the 7th, be there early. Oh, yes. You There'll be 3 rooms assigned to our class, but it's not like you can just walk into any one of those 3 rooms. What will happen in the next few days or before the exam is that Greg and or Lee will produce a list for each of the classes for the exam. So you'll be assigned to one of those rooms, and we'll have that list. And I'm not sure how that'll work, but if I know beforehand, I'll share that with you, which room that you need to go to. So you need to go to the room that you're assigned to. So that's the other thing. Be aware of that. That you quite more than likely, because I'm only going to be in a room with like 15 students, and I got 2 classes of 20 students each. So I got 60 students. So I'm gonna have 15 of them, or 18 maybe. So more than likely I won't be in the room with you, and so you'll be in a room with a teacher that doesn't know you. And to be honest, actually, a lot of you I haven't even it's only seen you at the tests. So you do need to bring your ID card. That'll be required, and you'll need to sign, and all the other sort of rules that we normally have with our exams will be there. So we do have an issue with COVID and other sort of health things. If this catches you, you need to contact the college immediately. And I don't mean me, because I can't really do anything about it. It's not within my purview or my to sort of give you a some kind of special exemption because you can't come um, because you got COVID and you're quarantined. So what will have to happen if that is the case is you will have to talk to the management here at the college, because they're the only ones that can do that. Um, Thank you, Amar. Last time we had an issue with the class not being cold, so that's good during the exam. I'll make a note on that. So you guys like cold classes? Yeah, so that is something that maybe I can do something about it. Yeah, it was hot. It was hot, and I don't like it hot either. Okay, so I'll make a note of that, and maybe I can feed that back. All right, so I think I got everybody who's present. I've sort of rambled on about the exam. So yes, the person that you need to talk to if you have a issue which is like that, um, you could speak to registration, people in building 3, or you could start by talking to, I was going to say Lee. He might be able to help you. Yeah. But eventually it's going to go right up to the management in building 3. They're the ones that are going to handle this. So I mean, I think registration, but if they don't help you straight up, then you could talk to Lee Butler. Oh, sorry, Lee Butler's a different person. Lee Willis. So like that one. So, oh, that's not right, is it? CNA Qatar.edu.qa. Yeah. OCNA. Oh, that helps. Any other questions? So I'm just trying to make sure that nobody gets sort of surprised. That's what we like. We don't like people to feel like we're ambushing them. So I want you to know exactly what to expect, and so that you're ready. So any other questions? Forms will be all right. So there's a question about what's going to be on the final exam. As I said, I haven't seen the final exam, but you should expect that the final exam definitely will be weighted towards the things that we did at the end of the semester. So definitely forms will be on it. We didn't do forms in the first other tests. So I would say I haven't seen the exam, but if I was making the exam, forms would be on it. Now, there's two different sort of theories or approaches to making a final exam. One is to have a comprehensive final exam where everything in the whole course is covered. The other approach is to have a final exam where only the things that haven't been covered in major tests are covered. My experience in this course is that we go for the comprehensive type thing. But the other thing that you should consider is that this course is sort of it builds you have a foundation, which is your general understanding of HTML. We actually went through that at the start of the course, and this course builds upon. And so by testing the things that we did in the last few weeks, we actually are testing the things that we did in the first few weeks. So we might not have questions that specifically address the topics that we had in lessons 1, 2, 3, because you have to know them to be able to do the stuff in the other ones. So if you can do the stuff at the end, well, that means that you can do the stuff at the beginning. I hope that makes sense. But I think that's, yeah, because, and also this is a skill-based course. It's not really sort of heavy theory. And you'll notice that. I mean, I've only seen one sort of theory assessment so far, and that's that assignment 4, where you talk a little bit about, you answer some questions about how forms work. So you sort of go away and do some research on that. So it's not, so the test is going to be skill based, and yeah, so that means you have to your skill level should have improved as you went through the course, and the last few assessments, the things that you had to do to create your term project, and the things that you had to do to answer the last few assessments, those are the skills that you should take into the final exam. So any of those skills could be tested. So yeah, you need to be able to do all the things that we covered in CSS, all the things that we covered in HTML. So in CSS, the hardest things that we covered was that adaptive layout, fluid layout, and fixed layout. You shouldn't be able to do them, but we have already tested those, but they could come up again. What we haven't tested is we haven't tested really forms. I am repeating myself, so I'm going to stop now. Any other questions? All right, thanks, students. One last, go for it. There's one question coming. I'm waiting. Yalla, yalla. Cheat sheet. If I was writing the exam, you will have a cheat sheet just because of consistency, because that's the way we've been doing it. I believe that I am so sorry that I haven't had a chance to talk to Amal about it, but I would say that if I were you, I'll make a cheat sheet anyways. Make it and expect that it'll be there. If it's not going to be there, I'll let you know. But yeah, I would make one, because just the exercise, and what I'm saying there is just the exercise of making a cheat sheet is a good revision. Because what you're trying to do when making a cheat sheet is you're trying to condense the things that you think that you need for the exam into a small space. And by doing that is a revision in your mind, especially if you're writing it by hand. So even if we don't allow you to have a cheat sheet, that is a good exercise to do. But I would say, if I was a betting person, I would say, yeah, 90% chance. I'd definitely take odds on you having a cheat sheet. I would not, at this moment, be planning to not have a cheat sheet. I think that you should plan that you will have a cheat sheet, because just based on what we've done in every other exam, that's the way it's been. Okay, and I will be, when I talk to Amal about it, I'll be suggesting that, and I know that from my experience with her, she likes that idea. So I think you can say that probably you'll be able to have a cheat sheet. Okay. Any other questions? Those are good questions. So yeah, so I mean, if I were you guys, what I would be doing on a weekend is I would be making sure I finished that assignment 4, sprucing up your project so that it has all of the imperfections that were highlighted in the marking, have been overcome to the best of your ability, and then submitting that project in two formats, one as a compressed folder and one as a complete um, as a complete web website on the SIT folder, and give a URL to it, and then making yourself a cheat sheet. I don't like that word, cheat sheet. It just kind of sounds kind of nasty, doesn't it? Notes, exam notes. Let's go on that. Okay. So, any other things? All right. It's pleasure as always, students. Thanks, and see you later. Cheers. Bye.